Welcome to TMZ Live. There is a betting frenzy afoot right now. Get this, over whose names are going to appear in the Epstein files.
And you know that we are sometime in the next 30 days expected to get the release from DOJ.
Hold your horses on that.
Well, at least on paper right now, that's what they're saying. We'll see what hiccups come along the road. But when those files come out, we expect that there are going to be several names in there that have that are not being accused of any wrongdoing. They're just names will be mentioned because they interacted with Jeffrey Epstein at fundraisers or whatever.
Let me just say, I know people who have seen, two people who have seen the files, parts of the files. And Donald Trump's name's all over it. There's nothing untoward in terms of anything he did, but his name's all over it. And there are so many other names because he was a social butterfly.
Right. And so some of those names, Donald Trump, as you said, his name is off the board. That's already been resolved. There are a bunch of names that have been resolved already. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump.
Fidel Castro.
He was not on the resolved list.
But he
could have been in the betting, but
he's in it.
He is not among the names on the Polymarket betting site. These are the current odds as we're doing this right now. It is shifting because people are betting money. Ehud Barak, the former Israeli prime minister, 65%.
That's weird.
People believe that his name will appear.
That's weird.
David Koch, 62%. David Copperfield, Ellen DeGeneres, Tom Hanks. Again, these are just people guessing whose names will be mentioned. Alec Baldwin, Tony Blair, Stephen Hawking at 36%. Chuck Schumer, Jamie Dimon. You'd expect that there are going to be some politicians that people put in here. Henry Kissinger
he was a player
is at 32%.
Back in the day.
And Michael Jackson at 30%.
And Michael Jackson may have known Jeffrey Epstein because, you know, we're talking 2000.
About the same age, roughly. I think it's roughly possible.
Yeah, certainly possible.
Anderson Cooper.
At some page,
again, this is what people are guessing.
But these are people who probably socialized.
Right, exactly.
Again, they went to
That's
parties
what I
in
think
New
the
York.
bets are based on.
And Jeffrey Epstein loved to fraternize with wealthy people.
Famous
He
people.
paid his way into these giant lavish parties.
And he was also a huge name dropper. We know that. So even if he didn't actually know these people, even if he didn't interact with them, he might have said something about
if I was a betting man, I would
them.
just bet across they're all going to be in there. You're going to lose some, but I think you're going to win more than you lose.
But the question is,
because he just named them.
They're not just mentioning people that he ever knew. They've got to mention them in some context. So the question is, the people who show up, what's the context? They're not going to say, Jeffrey Epstein knew the following people.
No, but we know there's going to be a lot of emails from Epstein to people about these people. So, like, even if it's, I saw Barack Obama on television today, does that get Obama into the betting pool?
I don't know.
If so,
Yes, it does.
You can look at my emails.
All it says is that the
Obama.
names have to come out as long as the names are mentioned. Right now, by the way, those are the odds, but you can also look on this site at the volume, like what are people betting heavily on, which people. For some reason, Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, and Stephen Hawking are the three people that are getting the most volume of bets right now.
That's really interesting.
Stephen Hawking, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
who knew?
No, but
there was,
there was
those
back in
rumors
the
out
day.
there? Okay,
secret
I didn't
life.
know.
Not untoward, but just that.
But they knew each other.
He partied.
Got it. Right.
Stephen Hawking,
heard about that.
Stephen Hawking partied.
Which, by the way, good on him.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
No shade. But again, I got to tell you, my spidey senses are, we're not going to see these files. That Donald Trump did this whole thing about, I'm starting a new investigation so he can somehow block the release of this.
And
because
remember,
he's not doing it to protect the people he mentioned, because those are the people he dislikes the most. So there's something more he's planning.
But both houses of Congress have now passed this legislation,
I know.
and the president's going to sign it.
And the president signed it.
He signed it, so...
But let me ask a question. The DOJ gets, and this is what they're doing right now, they get to decide what they're going to redact.
Exactly. Or withhold.
Or withhold. Do they redact, let's say that it is a completely innocent mention of whomever, say Tom Hanks.
So whomever matters.
Would they redact that person's name?
Just because they didn't do anything?
Because, yeah.
I don't know. They have so much discretion. And would they say, Trump is mentioned here, but it's really unfair, so we'll redact that? Do you
What
think
is the
that's
deal?
Oh, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a scenario that's possible?
It is 100%
When
a
does
possible
the
scenario.
Department of Justice get
know.
to tell the American people
We
what they
won't
get to
know
see
all
and
the
what they
time.
don't? But it's absurd. We now are in a
But that's
position
the
where
that's the deal.
I know, but we have a congressional act now to requiring the release. But they're going to say, you know
Subject
what?
to
Tom
redaction.
Hanks, it's unfair that he was
So-
mentioned
and the
because he
law
was eating
says subject
Skittles.
to redaction.
Subject to redaction.
And we all know what that means. That's to protect.
That's why I'm saying you will never be satisfied with what's released.
Kimberly, Michigan, I do believe that President Trump will release the names. I believe he will release all the names. And I believe that we're just going to have to vet them down. This man had a huge sphere of influence, a lot of money. He knew a lot of people. There will be a lot of names on that list. We'll just have to redact as we go and look through the names to vet who might have been on the outs with him or who might have been on the in with him.
Do you live in a rural area?
I do.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I'm looking at all that wood. Do you have like a rustic type cabin type thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
My husband
do you
hung
have
all the wood
Do you have
in
a
here.
great fireplace?
No, just a little TV stand that has one.
Nonetheless, it's great.
Well, opening weekend for Wicked for Good is here.
Finally.
Yes, and
Oh
of
my
course,
God,
I know
we've been
that
talking
people
about
are
this for
cheering about it
weeks.
everywhere, even in this office. Look, we've seen for weeks now that Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande getting all of this attention, deservedly.
Mm-hmm.
But this morning it was time for one of the bit players, I guess some would say, to get a little shine. Ethan Slater, who is Ariana Grande's boyfriend, is also in the movie, and he was invited to the Today Show to talk about his experience on the film.
Hold on.
What do you think they asked him about?
What would they ask
I'm sure
Ethan
they asked
Slater
him, what
about?
was it like? What
was your motivation
Right.
in doing your role?
They might get to that question, but you know what they really wanted to ask him.
What was it like working with your girlfriend every day?
Well, I mean, the entire cast was incredible, and Ariana's brilliant, and Cynthia is remarkable, and so getting to watch those two women perform at such a high level from up close. I will say, though, it's been pretty special rolling it out, right? I've said that we filmed it years ago.
He had to know, right? He knows when he shows up that the reason they are inviting me is to ask me about my relationship with Ariana.
I want to say no shade, but I guess it is shade. He should have come up with a better, more
No,
clever
that was
answer
the most
than that.
media trained week
That
response
was not
I've
media trained. It's
heard.
like, oh,
His
we're talking about
response
the
was-
whole cast. No.
Right. Oh, the whole
Come up
cast
with
is
something
great.
better.
Ariana.
And their
Why not
relationship
give
like
him something?
blew
Just say,
up.
yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you blew up your whole life for this relationship with Ariana Grande, and now you've been through this
There you
whole...
go. You blew up your
Well,
whole
I don't
life
know.
for this.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, no, that's what I would have asked her. I mean, that's what I would have
Well, that's
said.
what everybody wants to know.
And his character is great,
am I
whatever.
wrong?
No.
I mean, anybody.
That's what they were asking
Yeah.
without saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Without
you're right.
saying it,
And
yeah,
What's
yeah,
it
yeah.
like working with your girlfriend?
That's the way they wanted to
Yeah.
say it.
It's like you've been through a lot
However,
over the last few years, and you've had a lot of life changes. When it all settles down, does it make you happy?
And he knows there's rumors
Code.
going around.
Code.
Like,
He's not going to.
Yeah.
You would have gotten the same answer. Well, look, the whole cast was fun to work with.
No.
Ariana's great, but yeah,
But are you
he
in a
knows.
good place?
yeah.
He
But are you
knows
in a
the
good
game,
place?
and
And he's hearing the rumors. They're saying they're not true, all these things. Now's your perfect opportunity to be like, hey, guys, addressing, like, we're so in love. This is great. It was so great doing a movie with her. Like, I love our relationship. But no, we had to say we love the whole cast.
I mean, to be fair to the Today Show, when they invite him on, we know what happens. There's a publicist there for the movie who says, no personal
Wait
questions.
a minute. Who was it that we did yesterday where they just flat out said about a relationship and the person blanched? Who was that? Minka Kelly. Yeah, it was
I guess
Minka
it was
Kelly
Minka
where
Kelly.
she blanched where they said,
the publicist says, don't ask personal
But they
questions.
did.
So what the Today Show did was sort of walk the line. Like, it's a personal question, but it's about the
how would
movie.
you, okay, quickly.
No, the way Addie said it was perfect.
How would you do it?
They're not going to answer. He's not going to answer.
So you're just going to
You're
give up
saying-
before you ask?
So you're just gonna ask
saying
them about the Tin
if
Man and then the
publicist
interview?
wasn't
Yeah.
there.
What would you ask?
If the publicist wasn't there, it'd say, so when you and Ariana sit down and watch the movie together at home, what do you guys? What's your meal that you guys make at home together when you're watching the movie?
Here's what I would say. Oh my God, publicist, your dog just ran out of the car. Hey, Ethan. That's what I would do.
I'm Alina Tarkazikis, and I just have to say, I love Ariana. But as far as her relationship with Ethan, it's always been a controversial topic. They know that. And I think I'd be more surprised if he was gushing about his girlfriend, Ariana. They've always intentionally kept things private to drown out the noise and stay positive. So I'm not reading too much into this. I think that until we hear something official, I'm not going to assume that they're broken up over this.
They're not.
No, they're not broken up.
They're
but
together.
Here's how you know that the publicists are controlling it all. All the interviews that Ariana has done about this, has anybody asked her that question, even the way it was asked to Ethan?
They need balls.
Nope.
Balls.
Coming up.
Big news in one branch of the military, the U.S. Coast Guard. The story is about swastikas and nooses. There was a report in the Washington Post that said the Coast Guard had downgraded those particular symbols from hate symbols to potentially divisive symbols.
If they're not symbols of hate, what is a symbol of hate?
Be right back.
Swastikas and nooses. Big news in one branch of the military, the U.S. Coast Guard. The story is about whether those symbols are symbols of hate. Now, we can talk about it and say that clearly they are symbols of hate, but what's their classification in the Coast Guard? There was a report in the Washington Post that said the Coast Guard had downgraded those particular symbols from hate symbols to potentially divisive symbols.
Which is, if true, just shocking.
And
just
it
shocking.
raises all sorts of questions.
If they're not symbols of hate, what is a symbol of hate?
Yeah.
I mean, what is?
If it's not those two things.
What? What? I mean, they're in the dictionary.
And I guess the bigger question I have is why would
why
is
would
it
they
necessary
take an
to make
effort
that
to
change?
do it? Right.
Right. Is it so that someone can display, someone could get a tattoo of those things?
Why else?
Or
why else?
It's unclear. Now, we should say that the Coast Guard officially denied that change had been made. Interestingly, just a few hours after the Washington Post story was published, there was, according to the Post and CNN, another memo distributed on Thursday to Coast Guard brass saying that those symbols have been reclassified as symbols of hate.
In that case,
so if that memo said reclassified,
in that case,
as they're
liars. If they denied it because they put it back to hate, they're liars. They're just liars.
Yeah.
If they said it's never been that, because it is that.
Now, we have been reaching out to the Coast Guard to get their response to the reclassification report. I have not been able to contact anyone. We've sent emails, made phone calls, not hearing anything back from them.
It does not, but let me just say, it does not feel, if it were
why
true.
is this even something we're talking about? Like, it's
because the Washington Post wrote
reasons.
a BS story. That's why.
Well, no,
they
found something. They didn't.
I don't know. How do you know?
Well, I doubt they just made it up, right? I mean,
I'm not going to make the assumption that the Washington Post is telling the truth and Carolyn Levitt's lying. I'm just not going to do that.
Why?
Because I see things very differently than you.
Levitt hasn't talked about this yet.
Or the Coast Guard spokesperson.
If the Washington Post just made it up.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I believe they had some sort of reporting. They might have thought it, but I mean, they say it's not true.
The more interesting part is this.
Hopefully the Washington Post is wrong. I'm hoping they're wrong.
Are you?
But I'm doubting they are.
Right.
Right. I'm sure this was Donald Trump, right, in the Oval Office saying this. The military has 2 million people.
It's not the Coast Guard.
You have no idea. You're just making things up now.
I will tell you that if you think the Coast Guard is going to go off the reservation and do something that the Defense Department doesn't know when it comes to something like that.
This had to come from the Defense Department.
It had to come from the Defense.
The War Department.
We don't know. It's a he said right now. The reality is that you've got low-level people.
What if it's true? What if it's true?
It's disgusting.
Yeah. You're a reasonable guy.
Yeah, it's
You're
disgusting.
a reasonable guy.
I mean, who would argue? I hope nobody would argue that. I mean, that's gross.
But if it's true, what would the motivation be?
That's a great question. I'd love to know.
What's the reason for downgrading?
I'd love to know. I'd love to know where the decision came from. I'd love to know all that. They say it's not true. I take my
I think we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Araya from Virginia, and honestly, after reading through this story, who would even possibly think to change these policies in the first place? Symbols that have represented such hate for so long, people are automatically going to recognize those and automatically think hate. It just opens the doorway for more lawsuits and potential other things.
Yeah, I mean, that's what would happen if it was actually downgraded. Because you'd have a lot of people who were upset who were serving and suddenly seeing these symbols displayed. There is something else going on with the military that we told you about earlier this week, that there were 2 senators, 4 members of Congress who put together this video urging the military to disobey any illegal orders that they were given. And there's been now a backlash against those 6 lawmakers because since the president came out and said this is seditious behavior,
punishable
by death,
and then referenced George Washington, hang them,
saying that George Washington would have, someone said George Washington would have hung them, so you should do that.
And Donald Trump liked the post, basically.
Right. So since then, this morning, the president was on the radio doing an interview, and he said, I was not suggesting they should be killed.
I'll tell you what they said is, and it was, I mean, I don't know about the modern day things because, modern day is a lot softer. But in the old days, if you said a thing like that, that was punishable by death.
Yeah, but you're not threatening them. A lot of people are interpreting there's a threat and there's security.
Well, I'm not threatening them, but I think they're in serious trouble. I would say they're in serious trouble. I'm not threatening death, but I think they're in serious trouble. In the old days, it was death. I can say if I ever said that and there were a Democrat as president, all hell would have broken loose.
It's a little late to be parsing that, but he said, look, in the old days, this is something that would have been punishable by death.
But he didn't say it that way.
The lawmakers,
it is
I agree.
Seditious behavior punishable by death.
The lawmakers are already.
That's what he said.
They are feeling it already. And in fact, we spoke to Senator Elissa Slotkin about this and asked her, are you worried about the backlash? It has now come. All 6 lawmakers now have increased security.
24/7 security.
Because they are getting death threats. Well, Amanda Bynes is trying to clear up something that is now spread like wildfire online because of a video that was recently posted that, as we're about to show it, but it will certainly look like, and I think this was the intent, it looked like a video that Amanda herself produced. Because it starts with the video, the camera is on Amanda in selfie mode, and look at the text that is over this video. And you'll understand why some people thought she was revealing something traumatic that happened to her when she was just 13. She is now trying to clear that up. But here is the video. As I said, starts on her, and the text says, the man I got pregnant with at the age of 13, and then it flashes to a video of her in a hot tub with Dan Schneider, who was the executive producer of her show Amanda
on Nickelodeon.
And
there were obviously, you've heard about the documentary, everything else,
and the allegations involving Dan Schneider. So it seemed like she was saying, and because it's a selfie video, everyone saw this going around and thought, oh my God, Amanda is revealing that this happened to her.
Yeah, well, it is not so, you guys, because we actually spoke to Amanda Bynes directly, and she wanted to clear the air on this. She said that she did not make this. He did not get her pregnant, which really tells you how scary the internet is these days, because anybody could just stitch this together, and that's exactly what she explained to us.
This is the whole new world. I mean, This is what people are going to be up against times a million. In the next 5 years. You can't tell truth from fiction.
So she said that video of her.
That is her, but obviously somebody created the text over her video, and they stitched it with this other video, which is old footage of her behind the scenes.
From the show.
Yes, with Dan Schneider.
So how many views did that get?
Oh, I'm sure millions.
So here's the thing. So we do a story saying it's not true. It is not going to get nearly the attention that the AI video got. So no matter what you say, there are still people who are going to believe that.
We're going to be walking around out there believing that.
And now just realize this is going to happen everywhere in our lives, where you can't constantly correct things, where everybody just suddenly says, oh, and whether it's AI or whether it's anything else.
You can try to put the genie back in the bottle.
You can't. You just can never do it.
Coming up.
Some big news in country music. A song that hit #1 on country's digital distribution chart called Walk My Walk. So big hit.
Good song. That's
debatable.
I like it.
Because the big news about this song is it was created by AI.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. Some big news in country music. A song that hit #1 on country's digital distribution chart called Walk My Walk. So big hit.
Good song.
That's debatable.
I like it.
Because the big news about this song is it was created by AI. Officially, the artist is credited with the song is Breaking Rust. It's a computer. Because we're going to play this song for you here because it has caused a lot of, as you would imagine, controversy in country music. A lot of artists, Jason Aldean included, and the guy who's about to join us, Blanco Brown, were upset about this. And we're going to get into it with Blanco as to why he was upset about it. But what you're going to hear is Blanco's decided if you can't beat him, join him. So you're going to hear the original Breaking Rust version of Walk My Walk. And then you're going to hear what Blanco has done with it. And then he's going to join us. So here is Walk My Walk, both versions.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk. Ain't changing my tone, ain't changing my song. I was born this way, been loud too long. You can hate my style, you can roll your eyes, but I ain't slowing down. I was born to rise. So kick them rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'ma keep on talking and walking my walk.
I like both of those, actually.
There's one of them I like, and one I think is trash. But we're going to get into that with our guest, Blanco Brown. Welcome back to TMZ Live. How you doing, man?
Man, love and blessings. I'm happy to be here.
Well, so listen, first thing we got to know is you're not fighting the inevitable, are you? That AI is just going to do this, and it just proves that people will respond to good music, even if it's not made by humans. So are you going to beat him or join him?
I feel like people respond to anything that's catchy, even if it ain't that great. But if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. And actually, I'm not intimidated by it at all. I continue to create human music.
So, Blanco, I want to say right off the bat, thank you for making your version of the song. And I assume you had to work, because you are using their melody, you had to work with the people who created the original Walk My Walk, correct?
Not at all.
Oh, really?
I went in from scratch and actually created this whole version within 48 hours with a whole human team, from session players to producing it out myself.
All right. So the reason I want to thank you for doing is because what I think you did is you highlighted what is the difference between an AI-generated song and humans actually playing instruments. That first version that went to #1, when I was listening to it, I kept waiting for it. And I'll admit, yes, there is the beat. It's basically just a kick drum and a snare drum. And then I was waiting for instruments to come in. And there was never anything. It didn't build to anything.
Yeah, it
and
went
it
to
felt
#1.
soulless.
Yeah, it went to #1.
But your version has. What are you about?
Because people like it.
But if they like that, then they should love what Blanco did, because you can hear it feels more alive.
Listen, being #1 is sometimes subjected to what people run up the charts, what people are paying for, what people are doing. That don't make something great. To be human, to create, to have feeling, to have emotion, that could never be replaced.
So I want to give you a take that I got on this, and I want to see what you think. I think AI is the best thing that ever happened to musicians, and here's why. You can have 1,000 AI songs, and all done by AI, but they can't perform at concerts. And concerts are where musicians make money these days, not recording. So what you're getting is, on top of your own original songs, 1,000 new covers where people know the songs, and you can perform them at concerts where you can make the money. So AI actually gives you content and helps you make money. Am I
saying that
am I wrong?
that artists should be happy that they can now cover AI
They
songs?
should be thrilled. What do you think?
No, I mean, AI will never create a reality. It'll never have feeling, and it can't replace real people. It'll never be able to replace.
But you
real
did it
people.
with this song. I mean, I know it's your version.
Man, so listen, I had to do something. I'm the first to do a lot of things. I disrupted country music in 2019, went #1, and here we are with an AI version that feels like a watered down version of myself. And the person who's behind this AI allegedly is somebody that I actually helped mentor.
Really?
He hasn't come forward yet. So there are some likenesses, but it's not Blanco Brown. So I'm taking back what humanity has created, and that's God's purpose for us to create what we do. See, it's easy for a robot to just generate some sounds and some lyrics, but I've been writing my story my whole life. It's real circumstances, and here we are.
I agree, Blanco. We're almost out of time. I got to ask you about a statement you made back when the song first came out a few weeks ago. You said, Nashville closed the doors on black artists for years, only to let AI walk in and steal the show when we created the flow. The joke writes itself. #karma. Where's the karma in this? Because the song did go to #1, so I'm not...
Man, those programmers are kicking themselves. When I went to Nashville, they did not want to play me. I was always on an uphill battle. It's like saying the finish line, but me having on weights running to that same goal line and actually being better or the best version of what country music is.
Well, I'm listen, if it's going to be a battle between AI and humans, I'm looking forward to
And
it.
I'm actually doing a trailer trap version, so I'm going to be doing a derivative of this song with my original lyrics and how AI could have been a little bit better, because I can hear the flaws in the writing.
Exactly.
And the
People
sounds.
love that. That's great.
I'm looking
great.
forward to it, Blanco.
Me too.
And
Me
hey,
too.
everyone, if you're a country music fan, we want the human walk my walk to go #1.
Go to blancobrown.com to listen to it right now. I mean, we're going to be streaming live on the platform, and then it'll be available everywhere else.
All right.
Deal.
Thank you, man.
Blessings.
Coming up.
Ja Rule jumped while attending a concert, or at least that's what it seems like in the video we're about to show. Now, Ja has a different version of this, but this all went down in Brooklyn.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Ja Rule jumped while attending a concert, or at least that's what it seems like in the video we're about to show. Now, Ja has a different version of this, but this all went down in Brooklyn at Brandy and Monica's concert. You know, they're on tour. Their stop was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Ja was there as a fan, attending when clearly violence broke out. Now, whether or not it was targeting him, that is the issue. But you're going to see him here. Eventually, he comes out of that scrum that's going on there. He's in the middle of it now, but he's wearing a white, you're going to see him on the right side of the screen in a white shirt. Someone's holding him or pulling him away from the fight that is clearly going on behind him.
So what is he saying? He was just in the middle of something that happened
So the
around
way
him?
somebody, what came out on a blogger came out and said that he got jumped. Now, the blogger had the wrong location, so that makes the report skeptical. But the video certainly points to something going on. Ja told us he was not jumped, right? It was...
Yeah,
what's his explanation for what happened? Because we can see something.
Well, yeah, he said it was a skirmish. He said people attempted to jump him, but nothing went down. Like
so he's not denying
they
it was
attempted to jump him.
It was definitely a skirmish.
What's
or
the difference
altercation.
what's the difference between attempting to jump and jump?
Well, you got to get touched. You got to get your face.
Okay, so the violence that broke out is because someone was targeting him. Right. But he's basically saying what, his security stepped in, or
Well, it looks
friends?
like no one was able to get to the other side. You know, like a guy gets pushed, and Ja Rule gets restrained.
So wouldn't
we
he
can't
be
get the Royal
concerned
Rumble.
about why? Who are the people who were trying to touch him?
We asked Ja Rule that, and he said he has no clue.
So this seems like we're splitting hairs. Whether he was jumped or they attempted to jump, there was somebody who was going after Ja Rule.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of it.
Why is he?
Hold on a second.
Why is he splitting hairs on that?
Did anyone check? Where was 50 Cent?
50 Cent. 50 Cent. So I actually have intel on that.
I'm kidding.
50 Cent is. I do. I have intel. 50 Cent is actually in London shooting a film.
Okay. 50's cleared.
Ironclad alibi.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Courtney, and I'm from Broward County, and I'm here to talk about Ja Rule. This is my whole thing with it. Ja Rule, he probably did get a little scuffled and stuff, but I don't think he got touched because I'm pretty sure he would have came online showing his scars or something to show that, hey, nobody ain't touched me, you know? I don't know, but he did make his little comment. Now, with 50 Cent, I don't know. He probably has his voice. We got to know, Ja Rule. Tell us what happened.
50 didn't have anything to do with it.
I think this has to do with cheese sandwich.
No, you think someone who's upset about Firefest?
Yep.
How many years later,
That's
and
what
they saw him in a crowd, like, get him!
That's what I'm thinking.
From the people who brought you, Kevin Spacey is homeless.
Oh God,
comes
Charles.
Aaron Pfeiffer's Denise Richards'
Charles.
estranged husband.
I cannot believe you just said that.
Because we just got done talking about Kevin Spacey. We told you yesterday that Kevin Spacey said, I'm homeless. He's not. He's renting homes while he's shooting films. He doesn't have a permanent address. Okay? Aaron Pfeiffer's, I think, is actually, if you believe what he has said in these court documents, actually closer to being genuinely homeless. He says that he wants his divorce moved up, a hearing in the divorce, because he doesn't have money.
He wants support.
He needs money. He says that his bills are piling up, and he's going to be out in the streets very soon if he doesn't get this resolved with Denise.
Yeah. And it's so acrimonious. I don't see how they resolve this thing without a judge at this point.
This sounds like a truly desperate situation, though. You brought up Kevin Spacey. That's obviously very, very different. He says he's got these mounting bills, $125,000 in past due rent. Past rent. That's the danger of eviction, $125,000 in past due. So he has to get current and start paying it. He's having problems with his HOA fees, the water bills, everything associated with this place could get him evicted. On top of that, remember, he's facing criminal charges now.
If he's got HOA fees, he owns this place. I mean, you don't pay HOA. Do you pay HOA fees with a rental? No.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
He lists HOA fees.
I love catching him in mistakes.
It's not a mistake. It's how he lists it in his.
But you didn't figure that out, Derek.
Anyway, he says he's got big problems. He's also got legal fees mounting. He's got a criminal case on his hands on top of the divorce. He's got problems, and so this is looming very large for him. He needs to move this hearing up so he can access some of Denise's money, which is $250K a month, according to him.
He wants her to pay spousal support. Has he said how much spousal support he wants?
I remember
he's got monthly expenses.
Yeah, he said she made $250,000 a month in OnlyFans.
Yes.
He kind of ticked off all those things. I remember it. He wanted a substantial amount.
A very, very substantial amount. He's got living expenses in the tens of thousands of dollars a month.
You might want to check the
HOA fees.
The real estate law book. Back in your office.
I'll get back to that. I'll get it right on top of it.
Wow.
My name is Elijah, and I'm from Maryland. I think that Aaron needs to leave California. It's very expensive for him. And this is why it's very, very important that you save your money just in case you run into situations like this. I know that he's used to this lifestyle, but he might need to get another job or get a job.
That is what Denise Richards is going to say in court. That is exactly what Denise is going to say.
You know what Aaron could do? Maybe he could use when we posted this story yesterday, he might want to use the main art from our post as an exhibit to see, look, Your Honor, this is what I'm facing.
Not going to work.
Coming up.
Snoop Dogg is the master marketer. He is making money
hand over fist,
doing all sorts of things.
Ice cream.
This latest one for his audience, I think, is perfect. Especially, it's coming out now, a cookbook.
Baking with the D.O. Dub. You know, I love to wake and bake. This was the next thing to do.
Be right back.
Snoop Dogg is the master marketer, right? We know, obviously, he became famous as a rapper, but man, he is making money
hand over fist,
doing all sorts of things.
Ice cream.
This latest one for his audience, I think, is perfect. Especially, it's coming out now, a cookbook, because everyone's looking for gift ideas. A Snoop Dogg cookbook, not just anything, talking about desserts, snacks, things that you might, that might go well with the munchies. And though I'm not sure why Snoop would ever have the munchies.
But wait a minute, what if you combine something that makes the munchies even better?
Exactly. We got Snoop out, and this is what he had to say about his new cookbook. I love this.
Yeah, I had to get into the baking side of the business, you know what I'm saying? I got 2 cookbooks that's out and didn't have too many, recipes that were in this field, so baking with the D.O. I love to wake and bake. This was the next thing to do. People want to see how I bake, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They know how I bake, but they want to see how I really bake. You know
Right,
what I mean?
and speaking of that, on the cover it says, baking with or without weed. Holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas. What would you say is going to be kind of like the top, dessert in the book for the holidays?
Well, let's have a look at it and see.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's take a quick look and see what may be. Oh, this right here look fly. Now, see these right here? Them is oatmeal cookies with raisins in it.
Ooh.
And it look like it got some other. What else is that? That don't look like no raisin. What is that, a nougat?
You got to come host our party bus. We got the new TMZ after
Y'all got Ray J.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. That is hysterical.
Well, maybe he can send over some of his recipes
Guys,
for the
personally,
tour.
But it's so funny. It looks like, oh, that's new to me. He's like, oh yeah.
Personally, as someone who smokes and someone who owns one of Snoop Dogg's cookbook, because he has another cookbook from cook to crook, cannot wait for this because the recipes in the first one, like spaghetti de la hood, billionaire bacon, bow wow brownies and ice cream, the recipes are really good. So
Spaghetti in the hood.
Spaghetti in la hood, la hood, spaghetti in la hood.
So are these treats these are with marijuana or without?
You can do it either way.
Either way.
Oh,
You can do
either
like
way.
the
So they give you
marijuana oil,
inspiration for both.
So for the oil,
But Wednesday, I learned this today. Wednesday is Green Wednesday, and it's for people who are fans of marijuana because it takes the edge off the anticipation of having to deal with a big family on Thursday.
Harvey,
so next Wednesday is officially Green Wednesday.
You understand what you are telling the staff who are going to be here working on Wednesday?
Well, they get fired if they do that.
Oh, all right, good.
My name is Brianna, and I'm from Ventura County. Snoop Dogg is always releasing something new, and I'm wondering if he's going to do another collaboration with Martha Stewart, because I'd watch a podcast where they wake and bake.
By the way, she doesn't smoke. Martha does not smoke at all.
But she'll have edible, treats, right? That
she's not into it.
Not into THC at all?
But I asked her once, I think she does sometimes get secondhand when you're around Snoop.
Coming up.
So a very surprising honor for Chadwick Boseman. I say surprising because it hadn't happened already, but yesterday he finally got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
Be right back.
So a very surprising honor for Chadwick Boseman. I say surprising because it hadn't happened already, but yesterday he finally got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. I mean, obviously it has been, 5 years since he passed? And I would have thought that he would have gotten this honor. I mean, we've heard the outpouring of love for him, obviously right after his death, but it has continued every time that there is a new Marvel movie coming out. They always talk about the fact of what he meant to that franchise.
Exactly, and I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I'm actually a pretty big nerd, and I can tell you, I know it's like the best kept secret in this office, but I can tell you this, that his death had a profound impact on the town because I was covering it, but also just the nerd culture in general. And I was actually at the premiere of Avengers Endgame, and when all the superheroes who were snapped away came back to life, the crowd cheered loudest for Chadwick. And I thought to myself,
after he died.
No, this was with him in the room at the premiere. And I thought to myself at the time, how freaking awesome for him. And then when he passed, that was the first thing I thought, because he was already sick at the time.
Who spoke at the ceremony yesterday?
Among the people there, Viola Davis, I believe, Ryan Coogler, obviously, who cast him as Black Panther. And like, don't get me wrong, you know, there are other actors who will have that role.
Michael
but
B. Jordan there.
Yeah,
too,
you know, and my humble opinion, it will always be Chadwick Boseman.
Good on him that he got that.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
Hi, my name is Avion from North Carolina. And honestly, I thought it was beautiful. Chadwick left such a huge impact on us, and to see his wife commemorate him in such a way really reminded you that the love that people had for him was real and not just Hollywood hype.
Yeah.
I think it was genuine, and I really think he deserved that moment.
Yeah. I think everybody does. Absolutely. Okay, what else do you guys want to talk about?
Hello, it's Mason in Seattle, and I wanted to talk about the Amanda Bynes TikTok video because whoever spliced together that video, I hope they have plans to part with all of their worldly possessions because Amanda could totally sue them and should sue them.
Well, not just Amanda, but Dan Snyder.
Yeah, especially.
I mean,
both of them.
Absolutely.
They better hope they can't be found online because that's going to be the hard part for them if they wanted to file the lawsuit. Where do you track down the original video?
Right. Okay, one more.
Hi, Brooke Iapoluccio from Scottsdale. So yeah, when I saw Cynthia jump to Ariana's rescue, it was almost like watching a mama bear jump to her cub. But they have an interesting dynamic for sure, like a very interesting relationship. However, security definitely did fail a little bit on that end. I mean, you think of the Christina Grimmie case, and it could have ended tragic. I mean, you just never know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely
know.
true.
Coming up.
Well, this might be the most dramatic transformation for Jelly Roll, who we've been watching over the years as he's been losing weight. But I gotta tell you,
there's no jelly or roll anymore.
The weight loss is not as shocking as seeing him without facial hair.
Be right back.
Well, this might be the most dramatic transformation for Jelly Roll, who we've been watching over the years as he's been losing weight. But I gotta tell you,
there's no jelly or roll anymore.
The weight loss is not as shocking as seeing him without facial hair.
What's up, y'all?
Wow.
By now, you have probably figured out that I look like a Ninja Turtle. Yeah, this is crazy. You know, one of the reasons I'd even started growing a beard was because I was so obese. It was just easier to cover up what was happening here, you know? So, I don't know. Anyways.
I get it, because because he did it out of shame at the beginning, and now he doesn't feel that and wants to show it, and maybe he'll grow it back. But it's almost like a freeing thing that, I get it. Now if he grows it back as a matter of choice, and I just think it's
jarring, but to hear him talk about why he was growing it totally makes sense. I'm really happy.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Mr. Roll.
Mr. Roll.
We'll see you. Have a good weekend.